Comments on the show. I'm sure, Chris, you can write your letters to Chris Davis and we'll try to make the show better for you.
Northeastern, don't ask the zip, I don't know.
And it's time.
Survey says.
The price is wrong, Bobby. For trivia.
And live from the ECAT studios in Northeastern Massachusetts, this is Triviality. Welcome back. It's March 26th, 2024, and I'm your host and Trivia Master of Ceremonies, Tim Poupolo, and it's time for some trivia. Tuesday Triviality is sponsored tonight by Northeastern Savings Bank. From personal to business banking, Northeastern Savings Bank is here to help you grow. Find out more about their services, you can go and locations, go to northeasternsavingsbank.com. So thank you to our sponsor, Northeastern Savings Bank, for bringing this to us all this evening. All right, well, thank you all for joining us. This show features general knowledge, trivia questions, and answers. You can watch this as a rerun or on demand at a later date, but if you are playing with us live tonight in March 2024, you have the chance to play along, submit your answers, and win prizes. So here's how that works. We got a little QR code right here. That is how you will get to your handy-dandy trivia answer sheet. So when I read each question on air, you'll have 1 minute to send your responses in until I reveal the answer on air. Once I reveal the answer, unfortunately, it's too late. But using this QR code right there, it'll bring you up. You can either use a smartphone, or if you're watching this on the computer, you could also have this up on another tab by following a link. This is the same method no matter how you're watching it. You can submit your answers by. And you'll notice there's a few important little fields to fill out. Primarily your name and your answer. That's what you'll have to fill out each time. If it's your first response of the night, there's also a not required field at the bottom for email address. You'll only have to fill that out once. As long as your name for your responses is the same, we'll be able to match you to an email address so that we can contact you for your prizes if you're one of each round's winner. So remember, Facebook comments, Zoom chat, anything you yell at the TV, if you call it into the studio, unfortunately, only answers submitted with a time-stamped answer right there, using our answer forms, will be used. If you want a little bit of a pro tip, in this game, speed is also rewarded. For each question, the top 3 correct answerers will have their names put into the drawing for that round's prize. So you'll have your chance to get into this sack of names, and at the end of each round, we'll do a drawing for that round's prize. So you don't have to be the fastest. You have to be one of the top 3 fastest correct answerers, and you do have to be correct. And only 1 response per person per question. If you send in a second one, we will only review your first submission for each question. So there will be 3 rounds of gameplay this evening, and each round has a prize to one of our lucky participants. So round 1's prize. This will be a $50 gift card to Novell Salon and Day Spa. This is at 285 Washington Street, Unit 13, Northeastern Mass. And this $50 gift card is for products only. So I believe we had another spa here that it was for services, not products. This is for products, not services. So you can swing by Novell Day Spa and Salon and pick up some good care products there, $50 worth. For our round 2 prize, this will be a $50 gift card to Gianna. Gianna's at 3 Roosevelt Circle, and it's a new modern American restaurant. So that is sort of right by the Stone Forge, if you're familiar with the area. It's a new restaurant, and that's a $50 gift card to check out Gianna right there in Southeastern. And round 3. Round 3 is another $50 gift card. This one is to McGuire's Bar and Grill off of Foundry Street in Northeaston. So this is a well-known location for any Eastonites watching. McGuire's, $50 can get you a lot of honey hots. All right, so that's what we're playing for this evening. Each round will have a $50 prize, and to max out your chances, if you're a top 3 answerer for each questions, then you are a third of the names in the bag. So that's how you can max out your odds. However, if you only get one question right and you're the third person to submit it, you have just as a chance as anybody else of having your name drawn. So you have nothing to lose by sending in a wrong answer. Give it a shot. But we'll have roughly 1 minute. You'll have exactly 1 minute before we reveal the answer on air. So act fast. And the drawing will be random, and we are going to keep this above the belt. We're not here to judge who's smart. We're just here to judge who has the best collection of useless information, and that's the heart of trivia. So please, Siri and Alexa aren't members of your team. Don't let them join. Okay, now's your chance to get that answer sheet locked and loaded because we're about to jump in with the first round. So right now, you can put in your name and email address right now to shave off those precious seconds, because when they do come in, they come in timestamped to the millisecond, so you never know. Put in your name and email address to sort of get locked and primed, because if you're ready, so are we. You'll have a minute to answer each of these questions. This is round 1 for Novell Salon and Day Spa. Round 1, question 1 on the screens. Question number 1. It's fun to stay at the YMCA, but what does YMCA stand for? There's your round 1, question 1. In order to get this one right, you have to submit 4 words. 1 with a Y, 1 with an M, 1 with a C, and 1 with an A. So you have to have all 4. If you're missing one of those letters that it stands for, unfortunately that won't be correct. I'll also say spelling doesn't count. That may not come into play with this question, but somewhere down the road you might be wondering. Spelling does not count, as long as we can tell what you're trying to say. If it phonetically feels right, we'll try to get you those points. Just don't accidentally write something else that's completely wrong. Okay, we got answers coming in right here. All right. Our answers, and look at that, everybody so far is submitting 4 words, whether they're the correct 4 words. That's what we're here to find out. But the YMCA, you can get yourself clean, you can have a nice meal, and you can do whatever you feel at the YMCA. But what does it stand for? It is the Young Men's Christian Association. The Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA. They have since dropped their affiliations with Christianity, but they retain the YMCA name and branding. YMCA. Question number 2, moving right along. What is the name of the Major League Baseball team that represents the city of San Diego? We're looking for the Major League Baseball team that represents the city of San Diego. That's what we're looking for. So if you're a baseball fan, this might be easy, but for others, take an educated guess. The baseball season's just beginning. I think they wrapped up a lot of spring training, so now's your chance to see the San Diego baseball team, which, here we go. Yeah, we have some correct answers coming in. We have room for more, though. Okay, we're halfway through this one. We're looking for the name of the baseball team of San Diego. 20 seconds left. All right, maybe at 10 seconds I'll give you a hint if you're still on the fence right there. San Diego, what is their Major League Baseball team? MLB, right there. And their mascot is the Swinging Friar. The Swinging Friar is the name of their mascot. All right, and the name of that baseball team is the Padres. The San Diego Padres, right there. So Padres being fathers, as in the monk or the swinging friar. Question number 3. All right, some automotive right here. What is represented on the logo and emblem of the Italian luxury car maker Maserati? So a Maserati, I won't consider it cheating if you take a moment to run out to your driveway real quick to check. But what is the logo, the emblem of a Maserati? So I'll leave that open-ended. Could be animal, mineral, vegetable, object. What is the symbol of Maserati as seen on the front of the car, on the key fob, and in the center of the steering wheel? Maserati. So maybe if you take a drive down the Route 1 Auto Mile, you'll see it larger than life right there on the side of the street. What is the symbol of a Maserati? All right, 10 seconds left to name that emblem or symbol right there. All right, 3, 2, and 1. The correct answer is a trident. A trident. I would have also accepted a fork or a pitchfork, but it is a trident with the nice little hooked tips that won't let the fish get away. So a good old Poseidon's trident is on the front and back of most Maseratis. I think just the front, most of them. The trident. Okay, question number 4. Question number 4. What rapper's government name is Curtis Jackson? Curtis Jackson is the name that appears on this rapper's driver's license, birth certificate, and passport. What is Curtis Jackson's rapper name? Of course, everybody has to have a cool name, but it's not the real name. As cool it would be for Dwayne Johnson to have The Rock on his driver's license, it isn't. Curtis Jackson is the official name, the birth name, and the current name of what rapper? And we're halfway through our time for this question. And a lot of times it might also appear in the middle. Curtis blank Jackson. 10 seconds here to name that rapper. This rapper was very big in the 2000s. And we're running out of time right here. The correct answer is 50 Cent. 50 Cent. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson right there. 50 Cent, get rich or die trying, as he says. All right, we're moving right through. We're in the back half of round 1. So still have a chance yet to get your name in the bag. Here's your next question. Question number 5. Roses are red, violets are blue. Common evening primrose of Massachusetts takes on what other hue? It's the official start of spring, so why not welcome it in with a flowery question right here. Common evening primrose is a common and native flower of Massachusetts. What color is primrose? Specifically, the primrose we have here. Probably right outside this studio is the Governor Ames estate. And you could find this flower when it's blooming in the summer right across the street from here at ECAT Studios. What color is common evening primrose? Okay. And the answers are coming in. Common evening primrose. Yeah, and happy spring. Yesterday was the worm moon, where the worms make their migration back, not north and south, but up and down. They spend their winters about 6 feet under. Good spot for a worm, right? All right, so roses are red, violets are blue. Common evening primrose takes on the yellow hue. Yellow is the native primrose flowers that we have here in Massachusetts. And it's a tall stalk, and they'll sort of bloom at different times along the stalk. All right, moving right along. Question number 6. The 3 basic classes of rock are igneous, sedimentary, and what? So there are 3 types of rock in this world. All other rocks are just types of one of these 3. So were you paying attention in 5th grade science class? That's what I want to ask you. The 3 types of rock: igneous, sedimentary, and what? So let's see. Sedimentary, those are the sandstone rocks where we find the majority of fossils. Igneous, that's a rock that, let's see, was formed from lava or magma. And this final type of rock are the deep underground pressure rocks, like granite. A good rock, a rock's rock. What is that 3rd class of rock is what we're looking for right here. You have 10 seconds left to name the 3rd type of rock between igneous and sedimentary. Igneous being the lava rocks, sedimentary being the sandstones, and rocks like good old granite is a metamorphic rock. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic are the 3 types of rock. Metamorphic. Okay, we only have 2 more questions for round 1, so get your chances in order right here. Question number 7. Which U.S. state calls itself the Sooner State? The Sooner State. Every state has a fun nickname. We're the Bay State. I think Florida's the Sunshine State. California's the Golden State. Which of our 50 nifty United States is the Sooner State? The Sooner State. Which Sooner refers to a chapter in that state's history of that region. The Sooners are from which state? All right, we're halfway through right here. So an interesting thing, we're also in the midst of March Madness, and that could be a clue to you as well. March Madness right here, because this state's state university also takes on this name. So if you know your college sports, what school do the Sooners play for? That's also your answer of who the Sooner State is. The Sooner State. So when you cross over that state boundary on the highway, it'll say, welcome to Oklahoma, the Sooner State. And the Oklahoma University, or University of Oklahoma Sooners, is also their college basketball, baseball, football, etc. teams across all the sports. The Oklahoma Sooners, named for the Sooner State. All right, this takes us to our last question of round 1. So think nice and hard about this one. What color is the lightsaber that Luke Skywalker is gifted from Obi-Wan in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope? So looking just for a color here, sort of like the flower, but you have a much more limited option of what color lightsabers come in. What color is the lightsaber that Luke Skywalker gets from Obi-Wan Kenobi, the first lightsaber he's ever held in his life? And I think later he loses this lightsaber when Darth Vader cuts off his hand in Episode 5 and it just falls down a pit, and is later recovered in Star Wars Episode 7, one of the newer ones. That one is recovered when they thought it was lost. What color is that lightsaber that Luke Skywalker gets in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope? Which, at the time, it was just known as Star Wars, until they released Episode 5. But there's a limited amount of colors to choose from in the Star Wars universe, so you can really narrow this down to a multiple choice of the Jedi colors of green, blue, red, and purple. Yeah, there's only one purple lightsaber. Samuel L. Jackson has that. The correct answer is blue. It is a blue lightsaber that he has and then loses, and then he has to get a new lightsaber for his final showdown, which turns out to be green later on. But he originally has a blue one, and then that same blue lightsaber is wielded by Rey Palpatine in the sequel trilogy. All right, so that rounds down round 1. We're going to take a brief 1-minute break, and when we come back, we will have our round 1 drawing, and this drawing is for a $50 gift card to the Novell Salon and Day Spa in Southeastern Mass, and this $50 gift card is usable for products, not services. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and we'll have our round 1 winner and round 2 coming right at you.
I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. What a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
And we're back. All right, so thanks for hanging tight. It's time for our round one drawing. This is for Novell Salon and Day Spa, $50 gift card, our round one prize right here. So if you are a top 3 correct answerer for each of these questions, your opportunity is in this bag. So let's see. Answerer number 15. This goes to Monica. Number 15, that is for being the first person to answer metamorphic correctly. Monica, we will mark you down and follow up for your prize. So there we go. So Monica, that was your lucky answer, being the first of metamorphic, but everyone else had just the same shot. In round 2, we're playing for a $50 gift card to Gianna, a new restaurant, a new modern American restaurant at 3 Roosevelt Circle. So right there adjacent to the Stone Forge Grill, if you know where that is. So try out something new. $50 to Gianna is what we're playing for in round 2. So round 2, same thing as round 1 when it comes to sending in your answers. You'll use the same answer sheet right here. And you'll put in your name and your answer. And you only need to put in your email address once, so then we can match up your name and email address, as long as you don't switch names on us halfway through the game. But you'll want to also put in your name ahead of time so that you can shave that couple seconds off your responses. But same thing, we'll still have a minute on the clock before we go through the answer. We know what we're playing for, and we'll hit you again with these questions. So without any further ado, get geared up, have your answer sheet up and ready to go. Here we go, 1 minute on the clock. Round 2, question 1. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, what is the most used letter in the English language? The most used letter in the English language is what we're looking for round 2, question 1 right here. So you only need to submit just one letter. Really easy typing on your behalf. One button and submit. The most used English letter, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. I'm not sure. I think Webster's is probably also in agreement. What is that most used letter? All right, if you can, any fans of Wheel of Fortune out there, you know that they give you the top most common letters for that final Wheel of Fortune puzzle. So let's see, the RLSTNE, right? That's what they have up there on the board. Then you have to select some vowels and letters for the final puzzle. But they give you the most common letters. Which one is the most? I'll give you a hint. There's 9 of them in that question. It is the letter E. The letter E is the most commonly used letter in the English language. E right there. I think that question may have favored the T's as well, but E overall. Okay, question number 2. Question number 2. Which day of the week is known as Mittwoch in German? All right, so here's some world languages for you. Mittwoch is one of the 7 days of the week in the German language. Which one is it? So again, the options are right there. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Which one do Germans know as Mittwoch? You have, the clock is ticking. Now this one you need to sort of use It's called etymology, is the science of words. So you may have to dissect this to really understand it. The science of words, not to be confused with entomology, the study of insects, but any etymologist would already know that. 15 seconds remaining. Which day of the week do the Germans know as Mittwoch? And we're in the final 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, if you were to translate Mittwoch, it literally means middle of the week, or middle week, which would be Wednesday. So I guess in German, Wednesday translates to hump day. So you're welcome for that one. Hump day in German is Wednesday. Question number 3. The Academy Award for Best Makeup in 1996 went to what Eddie Murphy movie? To what Eddie Murphy movie was the Academy Award for Best Makeup given in 1996? And for reference, I think Eddie Murphy had about 12, 13 movies in the 90s, so you got to really do some digging right there. But which Eddie Murphy movie won the Academy Award in 1996 for Best Makeup? The clock is ticking. Like I said, you got about 12 movies to pick from if you just narrow it down to 1990s Eddie Murphy movies. But if you narrow it down to 96 and try to think about which one deserves this Academy Award, it becomes a little bit more apparent for you. All right, 15 seconds. 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Oh, and we guess this one was a little tough, but once I reveal the answer, you'll know why. Okay. There we go. Not a lot of people got this one. It was The Nutty Professor. The Nutty Professor, where he had to bounce back and forth between being thin and being overweight. So wonderful makeup right there. And rightly so, they won the Academy Award for Best Makeup. That 1996 Eddie Murphy movie was The Nutty Professor. The Nutty Professor. I think 2 people got that. Ooh, that was the low one of the night so far. Okay. Question number 4. What French philosopher coined the phrase, "I think, therefore I am"? I think, therefore I am. It's a very well-known sort of quip of the philosophy world. I think originally it was written in Latin, despite being a French philosopher. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. How do you know you exist? If you contemplate your existence, you know that you exist. I think, therefore I am. Who was that philosopher? And maybe we can just do Jeopardy rules. Just the last name would suffice as well. But no bonus points for the full name, but you'll get props, which is almost as good as extra points. All right, our last quarter right here. All right, we got 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Looks like more people knew this than they knew the Nutty Professor. The correct answer was René Descartes. René Descartes, right there. He thinks, therefore he is. Descartes before the horse. All right, that was your philosopher. Question number 5 in the back half of round 2. Here we go. In sailing, what is the name of the triangular foresail at the bow of the boat? So foresail is one at the front. The bow is also the front of the boat. What is the name of that foresail at the bow of the boat in sailing terms? And the clock is running to name one of the sails of sailing. Sails of sailing. So this is true, I believe, not just for small craft sailboats, but also wonderful 3-masters like the USS Constitution. What is the name of that triangular foresail at the front of a sailboat? Ooh. And the cut of this sail determines a lot about the trajectory of the ship. Or I guess the trim of the ship should I say. Okay, we still have room for another person. This one was woohoo. This one is a tough one. Okay, the correct answer is the jib. The jib. So, I like the cut of that jib right there. The jib is the triangular sail at the bow of a sailboat, or a clipper, or a three-master, right there. All right, moving right on to the next question. What NFL running back holds the nickname Beast Mode for his ability to break tackles while running? Beast Mode. What NFL running back is Beast Mode? And I think for reference, this running back is now retired, but he pulled a Tom Brady. He retired in 2016 and then immediately came back in 2017. So only a one summer long retirement, but then retired officially after the 2019 season, I believe. So who is Beast Mode? Looking for Beast Mode, the NFL running back. All right. 22 seconds left. So let's see. The Patriots did face off against Beast Mode in one of their Super Bowl victories, if that helps anybody along. So at least that might narrow down a team, and without a doubt that team's star running back, because he was a league star running back as well. And Beast Mode is Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is also known as Beast Mode. That's his sort of official nickname, and he also uses it in merchandising. Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, which takes us. Oh, we got two more questions. Two more opportunities right here. So, question number 7. Oh, some geography, a tough one. Michigan has a land border with 3 U.S. states: Wisconsin, Ohio, and which other U.S. state? So Michigan, that's a tough one to conceptualize because Michigan's got those two parts. Michigan has 2 parts and touches 3 states. It touches Ohio, it touches Wisconsin, and it touches which other U.S. state? So looking for a U.S. state right here. And with 3 knocked off the top, you're down to 47. It touches Wisconsin, Ohio, and which other state? That's what we're looking for. And reasonably, Wisconsin is the top part of Michigan touching, and the bottom part touches Ohio and a state that Ohio touches. And that state that Ohio touches, and it also touches Michigan, is Indiana. Indiana, Ohio, and Wisconsin are the 3 states that have a land border with Michigan, as oddly configured as Michigan is as a U.S. state. All right, now takes us to our final question of round 2. So one more opportunity, 3 more names will get put into that bag for Gianna. Here we go. In the animal kingdom, Bactrians and dromedaries are better known as what? So Bactrians and dromedaries are the 2, I guess, subfamilies of what type of animal. A lot of animals have, right down the middle distinction. You have the frogs and the toads. For owls, you have your barn owls and your true owls. What type of animal is separated into these 2 categories, Bactrians and dromedaries? Yeah, so Bactrians and dromedaries. And you can tell them apart visually as well, but you can also visually tell that they are both types of what animal. And you don't have to overthink it and give an overly taxonomic answer. That's the classification of species right there. The overall family group that is split into these 2 categories. And animals that you could see at the zoo, perhaps. All right, the correct answer are camels. Camels, the easy way to tell Bactrians and dromedaries apart. Our dromedaries have one hump, like the letter D on its side, and Bactrians have two humps, like the letter B on its side. So Bactrians and dromedaries are the 2 and 1 humped camels. Those are the 2 types of camels in the world. All right, so that rounds down round 2. With that out of the way, we're going to go to another brief commercial break, and just like last time, we'll be coming back to you with our round 2 drawing for Gianna, the new modern American restaurant here in Easton, and then we'll be coming back for round 3 for McGuire's Bar and Grill. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Service Matters, a weekly radio show that talks about the good things that are happening in local communities and beyond.
Since 1978, the Eastern Food Pantry has been dedicated to providing food to our neighbors in times of need. As long as there's hungry people in our community, our doors are open, our hearts will be open to help.
We also like to talk about the good things that people do to make a difference, and in many cases, to make dreams real for folks out there in need.
Just to chat about, as you say, some of the good things in life. There's some of the good things, the great things, and the happy things.
And certainly watch us on ECAT, Eastern Community Access Television.
All right. We are back. So hopefully I didn't lose anybody. We are about to do our round 2 drawing for Gianna's. Gianna, new modern restaurant, 3 Roosevelt Circles, a $50 gift card. Everyone who played round 2 and got a correct answer, or one of the top 3 correct answers for each question, has an equal opportunity right here. So let us see. All right. This goes to answerer number 8. This is for being the second, and this is the Nutty Professor won you this one. Being the second of 2 people that got the Nutty Professor, Dave W. Dave W., you are our round 2 winner for Gianna right there. Dave W., Gianna, $50 gift card, and your lucky answer was the Nutty Professor. Huh. Who would have thought that was the lucky one? All right, for everybody else, there's still round 3. Round 3, if you are one of the top 3 answerers for all of these questions, you maxed out everything by being 1/3 of the names in that bag. But this is for McGuire's Bar and Grill, a long-time Easton favorite. Comfort food right there, located at 503 Foundry Street, Northeastern, Massachusetts. And round 3 will work the same way as rounds 1 and 2. We will all be submitting our answers together using the same answer sheet, using that QR code right there. You'll put in your name and your answer for each one. If you're joining us for the first time for round 3, make sure to put in your email address so that we can match up your email with a name to contact you if you are our winner. So we'll still have a minute for each one. Here we go. One final time to run through them. Round 3, question 1 on the screen. In the American system of numbers, how many zeros are in 1 trillion? How many zeros are in 1 trillion? And the American system of numbers isn't too different from any other. It's just a good clarifier. So if someone said, I have $1 trillion, how many zeros? And we're not talking the cent zeros, just the number 1 trillion. How many zeros are in 1 trillion? Zeros in 1 trillion. And if you type in the actual number 1 trillion, we won't give you credit. You have to type in the number of zeros that follow the 1 in 1 trillion. Okay, 1 trillion right here. 15 seconds remaining. So yeah, it's good to know your trillions and billions and millions and quintillions apart, especially when you count up all your gift card money. Right. That last 3 seconds here. 1 trillion has 12 zeros. 12 zeros, so you can sort of see the first 3 is the thousands, then you got the 100,000s, the millions, the billions, and then 1 trillion. So there are 12 zeros. There are 4 000 segments punctuated by commas in the number 1 trillion. Question number 2. Okay. What deceased filmmaker still holds the record for most Academy Awards to a single person? Most Academy Awards to a single person goes to what deceased filmmaker? And let me just say, all of these Academy Awards were won by this filmmaker while this filmmaker was still alive. So we're not talking about any posthumous Oscars right here. What filmmaker has the record for most Academy Awards or Oscars to a single person? To a single person. All right, and this is for a grand total of 26. 26 Oscars to a single person. It's still the record. This is like the Michael Phelps of movies. 26 Oscars. Who is this deceased filmmaker that still has that unbroken record? Yeah, this is one of those things that's a name you know. It's a quite famous person. All right, the correct answer is Walt Disney. Walt Disney has 26 Oscars and still holds the record for most Academy Awards won by a single person. This is for Walt Disney. Ah, that's the deceased filmmaker. Yes, he's not just a company, he was a person. Question number 3. Question number 3. On which mountaintop did Moses receive the 10 Commandments upon, according to Judeo-Christian scripture? So according to, this would be the Torah, the Bible, and even the first chapter of the Quran, they all agree that Moses received the 10 Commandments on top of what mountain? On top of what mountain? Yeah, it's a good time of year. I think Passover's coming up, so you can watch that wonderful Charlton Heston movie, which has this scene right there. On top of what mountain did Moses receive the 10 Commandments? That's what we're looking for right here. This is your third question in round 3, and we're coming up on about 20 seconds left. So this name, again, I wouldn't be asking if it was obscure. This is a name that also appears elsewhere in places, mostly in reference to this famous mountain, but not always in a clear way. All right, we're in the final countdown right here. The 10 Commandments were received atop of Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai Medical Center. No, the actual mountain, Sinai, is where the 10 Commandments were received according to Judeo-Christian scripture. Mount Sinai. Spelling was optional, as long as it looked like it said Sinai. We got you that credit where credit is due. Okay, number 4. Ooh. Between the silver and gold anniversaries, the ruby is the traditional anniversary gift for a couple celebrating which year? So you have your golden anniversary, your silver anniversary, and before you get to the silver anniversary, you got other ones like the paper, lace, wood, and leather. But you get into the good juicy stuff after silver, before gold. What is the ruby anniversary celebrating? Or I guess when Queen Elizabeth had her ruby jubilee, it was celebrating how many years on the throne? The ruby jubilee, or the ruby anniversary is for what year anniversary? The traditional gift of which anniversary is the ruby? Okay, we have answers coming in. This one is a little tricky, but at least everybody seems to be within the proper constraints of figuring out silver and gold, because nobody is guessing anything less than 25 years or more than 50 years, which are your silver and gold anniversaries. But the ruby anniversary is your 40th. The 40th anniversary is the Ruby anniversary. Of course, the good ones are sort of the big numbers, 30, 35, 40, 45. You get a little bit more obscure when you get into the weeds between them. But the 40th anniversary is the Ruby Jubilee, as they say in England, or as we say here, the Ruby anniversary. Okay, question number 4. Or that was number 4. Number 5. Oh, how many U.S. states begin with the letter M? All right, rack your brain right here. Count on your fingers. How many U.S. states start with the letter M? All right, so we know Massachusetts. That's the gimme. There's at least one. But how many U.S. states begin with the letter M? Yeah, so don't miss one, because that'll throw you all off. This one, I expect people might be going down to the wire, counting, making sure that you don't miss one. Be a bit more confident, but worry not, I will read them all in alphabetical order to you in 21 seconds. How many U.S. states begin with the letter M? The letter M. All right, we're coming down, so when in doubt, send out a number, an educated guess, maybe however many you came up with. Add one for good luck and send it in. Because here we go, the correct answer is 8. 8, so we have Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana. That is 8 U.S. states. 8, so yeah, which ones did you forget? Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana. Because then you get into Nebraska, Nevada, right after that, alphabetically. There are 8 U.S. states with the letter M right there. Okay. Our next question, number 6. In shark anatomy, where is the caudal fin? The caudal fin. So every part of a fish or a shark has a name, including all their fins. They're not just nondescript fins. We may know them more by their location name, but which one is technically called the caudal fin? Shark, because that was fun, but it's the same fin if we're talking about a cod. So where is the caudal fin on a shark? I know, I hope you're... It's a long way till Shark Week, where I'm sure you'll see the answer. But until then, think about where shark fins are. If you sort of count their obvious fins, for most sharks you got 4 fins, 5 or even 6 depending on the species of shark. But here we go. Enough people did get it. The correct answer was the tail. The caudal fin is the tail fin. On the back, that's the dorsal fin. The dorsal fin on the back, the caudal fin on the tail, 2 pectoral fins, and some sharks also have a pelvic and anal fin as well. But the caudal fin is the tail fin. Not just for sharks, sunfish, bass, cod, the tail fin is the caudal fin. All right, number 7, right here. Maybe more accessible than the Maserati. The Sedona is a minivan model produced by what car make? What car maker brings us the Sedona? Here we go. Like I said, there's a much higher likelihood of one of these being in your driveway than the Maserati, but it was always worth a shot right there. What car make makes the model Sedona? Sedona being a model, and names just get wackier and wackier. At least this one's a name and not the RDMDZBX or something like that. Here we go. What car make is the Sedona? It is a minivan. All right, so try to think when you're stuck in traffic on the highway and you're just reading the car in front of you. If it is a Sedona, what is the emblem? What is the type, the make? If the model is Sedona, that is Kia. Kia Motors. It is the Kia Sedona, not to be confused with the Sierra or the Windstar. It is the Kia Sedona. Is a minivan. The Sedona right there. Okay, which takes us to our last question of the evening. Again, you have one more shot right here to get your name, so 3 more will be entered if we get 3 more correct answers right here. Our final question for the McGuire's card right here. Due to the price of copper, U.S. pennies after 1982 are only copper plated, with what other metal at its core? So some people collect pre-1982 pennies because the amount of copper in it actually is worth more than a penny, just due to the price of copper. And if you get a modern penny, any penny after 1982, so most of the 80s, 90s to current day, and you cut it in half, you'll notice that it is a regular silvery metal on the inside, but copper on the outside. What type of metal did they fill in the inside of the penny with? Okay, you got 25 seconds left right here. So you gotta, I guess, maybe think a little bit about it. Pennies are not magnetic, so it would not be one of the magnetic metals. I'm sure they thought about that because that may cause a lot of problems. What is at the heart of a penny after 1982, that is? All right, and that's your time. That is a nice cheap metal, zinc. They needed to produce this thing for less than a penny, and zinc coated with copper seems to be the top choice. I think there were steel pennies, that was wartime, and iron, nickel, and cobalt are magnetic, so they elected not to go for the magnetic ones. Zinc pennies with a copper lining to sort of preserve the way they look. All right, so that was our final question of round 3. When we get back, we will be doing our drawing for McGuire's Bar and Grill right here. McGuire's Bar and Grill, $50, located at 503 Foundry Street. We'll be back in 1 minute. Don't go away. Good luck.
I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. It's what a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
And we're back. Okay, so it looks like we have everybody's answers reviewed. You're all ranked and highlighted if you are one of the top 3 correct answerers for each of those round 3 questions. And before we do our drawing, let me just say next month you can join us. Our next airing will be May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th at 6 p.m. And you can find it just as you found it tonight, watching live via Facebook or live on ECAT, the cable station. If you like this and other programs, May 7th, 2024. Huh.
Wow.
No, but May 7th, 2024. If you like this and other programs, we can't do it without help from viewers like you, with sponsorship or donation. So if you'd like to help ECAT with a donation, you can go to eastoncat.org and scroll down for the donation link. So thank you to our sponsors, and thank you for supporting this local station. And without further ado, the moment that I'm sure you're waiting for. McGuire's Bar and Grill, $50 gift card on the line. I'll dig down to the bottom, stir them up good. Make sure this is as random as can be. Okay. Okay, so answerer number 6. So this is for being the first person to write Mount Sinai. This goes to Jessica P. Jessica P., you won your $50 gift card to McGuire's Bar and Grill. All right. So another episode of Triviality in the books, another 3 $50 gift cards given away. We hope to see you all next time. I'm your host, Tim Poupolo, and thank you again to tonight's sponsor, Northeastern Savings Bank. You can find out more about their services and locations at northeasternsavingsbank.com. So thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to our viewers. Again, until next time, keep some curiosity alive and enjoy Triviality. Good night.